Good morning, Erinn. How you doing today?
I'm good, James. How are you?
Doing well. We're excited about having you as a guest on our show. Speaking of that,
Thanks.
our
Excited
guest
to be here.
today is Erinn Hayes. She is starring opposite of Jon Hamm in the new animated Fox comedy Grimsburg, Sundays at 9:30. But yeah, we're excited about your new show, but we want to know a little bit more about it. Oh heck yeah. I was gonna say I've seen a couple episodes. It's pretty darn good. And yeah, I've enjoyed it so far.
Oh, good. So glad. Yeah, this is my first foray into animation, and it's been a wild ride. I really love it, and I'm so happy with the show. It's dark, it's weird, it's funny, it's irreverent. It's my favorite kind of comedy. So get a chance to jump in. It's just been really it's been like eye opening and really fun.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. So, why is Marvin Flute the world's greatest detective?
Oh, it's a, it's such a good character because it's like he is a great detective. He goes into his crime mind where nothing makes, like he'll look at a bone and go into a deep woods and the this and the taste and it's like a very psychedelic experience that they create for you. And then he's just absolutely deplorable human being. So, which is fun to play in animation for sure.
Definitely. So, what should our listeners know about the Flute family? Because obviously, you're a big part of the Flute family, being the mom.
Yeah. So I play Harmony Flute, who is Marvin Flute, Jon Hamm's ex-wife. They have a very contentious relationship. He hasn't been there for a long time. We have a son, Dan, who is desperate for his father's approval. And I'm like a typical mom. I just want the best for my kids. So I'm annoyed when my ex-husband doesn't show up to things or really care. But something about Harmony too is that she's also so ambitious. She's the reporter for the town. So while she thinks she's the greatest human and the greatest mother, her ambition can get in her way. As well as the fact that she was raised by bears, so she's got a little animal tag on her ear and some very animal instincts a lot of animal instincts that come out.
Awesome. Yeah, that's the part I was waiting for is the raised by
Yeah.
bears. I was like, that yeah is definitely a key selling feature because it is quite interesting to see the difference. Because yeah, you like you said in other shows, moms are very concerned about their children, but most other shows they're
Well,
not raised
yeah.
by bears.
Most other shows, the characters are not raised by bears. We do get, I think later on in the season, or maybe it's the second. We've already been picked up for a second season, which is so wonderful. Um, but we do get to meet Grandma at some later point, I think, in this season. And I do love the instances in which Harmony's bear instincts come out. I think in the last episode, they visit a parkour bar,
Mhm.
and she's very excited about that. And anytime you see her eat, as well, just absolutely devours food. It's funny, like sitting in a voiceover booth, having to do the sounds of eating a piece of chicken or growling at somebody is all very new to me, but loving it.
Definitely. Yeah, I was gonna say, shoot. Yeah, in the past, you had live action shows like Children's Hospital, Kevin Can Wait, The Goldbergs, and other shows. How would you compare those experiences to your new experience with animated Fox comedy Grimsburg?
Well, it's funny. It's been quite a learning curve at the beginning, just to try to because it get into recording it, I have to like use with my whole body and try to do it. But at the end of the day, it's really only your voice that people can hear. So I had you have to learn to put it all in your voice, which is hard. I think I'm used to relying on my body and facial expressions and having that lend itself to then my voice. But I have to get into a different headspace when I'm going into the recording booth to try to put all that energy just into my voice. But it was fun. It was a really fun thing to do. You go in, you don't read with anybody else. You just do your own lines a bunch of times, and so you can experiment and do some fast with with a bunch of different readings.
Yeah, I was going to say you read my mind and read my next question. Shoot, because that was going to be, do you get to interact with those other cast members? Because you do have such a great cast.
It's such a wonderful cast. I mean, we've got Rachel Dratch and Jon Hamm and Alan Tudyk. Wendy McClendon-Covey from the Goldbers is in this season, as is Rosie Perez, just Patton Oswalt. This last episode, I didn't even know, but my co-star from Children's Hospital, Rob Hubel, ended up doing one of the voices in it. So we were in the episode together, and I hadn't even known that because he went in to record solo. But at the beginning, when we were doing table reads before we started going into record, we did Zoom table reads. So that in that instance, you get to hear the whole script with everybody reading the voices, so that then when you go in to record the episodes, you at least have some idea of what people have done and of the energy of it all. And that I found that to be extremely helpful.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, being able to play off of each other and being able to kind of reference and hear in your mind what they would say. I can imagine that would be quite helpful.
Yeah, because it's only at the end when the show has actually been animated that you can see a little bit of it and see what you need to match or what people have said for the line before you. Sometimes if there was something very particular, I would ask them if Jon had recorded yet and if I could hear his read of it so that I could, mimic his delivery of something if I were, if we were like going toe to toe with something.
Makes sense. In reading the reviews, I found people either love the show if they understand what the target audience and what the premise is, or they hate it if they don't understand that animation and cartoons are not the same thing. Who is your target audience for Grimsburg?
Well, I think it's definitely a more mature audience that we're leaning towards, and it's like any comedy. People either it's your type of comedy or it's not. I think that this is the fun of this show. Is it's a little dark, it's a little weird, it's irreverent. It is the jokes are fast, and they're a little off, which I absolutely love. That's for sure my type of comedy. And if that doesn't sound like you, then still please watch it. I would appreciate that.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm sure people will be turning it in on Sundays at 9:30 p.m. on Fox. The other thing about it, it kind of makes me think of the show Velma, where except for you actually accomplish those goals of being funny and being dark, and did you ever get to see that show?
Well, I didn't. I actually did not watch Velma, so I can't compare it to that. But yes, I mean it's definitely dark. It's a show about a town where murders happen all the time. So you got to be okay with seeing a little bit of animated blood. But hey, we're Americans, right?
Exactly. Unfortunately, we're getting accustomed to that nowadays.
Yeah, for sure. But so why not come in and laugh about that kind of stuff?
Excellent. Erinn, before we let you go, where on social media, where on the web, where can we find out more about you and Grimsburg?
Grimsburg, you can head on over to Fox's website, and then for me, I'm on Instagram at Hayes Lady, Hayes Lady, and that's me. And then tune in Sundays 9:30 on Fox.
Sounds great. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Take care.
Excellent. That was Erinn Hayes. She's from the new show Grimsburg, where she stars opposite Jon Hamm. Sundays, 9:30 p.m. on Fox. It's an animated show. It's very different than a lot of the other shows out there, but it's quite exciting. And like we had talked about with her, she has experience with a lot of live action shows, and this will be one of the first times her doing an animated show. So thank you for tuning in to our show.